Alright, and here's the last part of the meta review, guys. So I'm going to be talking about the Ruby characters and the DLC characters in terms of where they fit into everything. So with that said, first up, Ruby. And first I'll talk about, well, Ruby. Prediction, moderate decrease. Reality, slight to moderate increase. Okay, so I know I said that Ark must love height, but I'm wondering if I meant Ruby. This chick just won't go away and doesn't know the meaning of fairness. To say her boxes and the things that made her great got better would really be a bit of an understatement. Ruby already was a great comeback character, and now I say she's the comeback character. But let's be honest, if you're playing Ruby, you don't want to struggle too hard in neutral, and you want to win off the weirdest interactions and stray hits when you knew you should have whipped that 5B. Weiss. Prediction unchanged, reality moderate increase. Okay, so there's a lot to say here. With Orie being left behind, Weiss has been elevated to the second best rapier girl. Her kit getting standardized so that it functions really helps her function as a character. Combine this with her having new combo routes that allow her to set up her glyphs really helps her stand on her own. This of course opposed to how she used to be, where she would have to give up her turn to set up her glyphs or to use an assist to hide the setup. All things considered, people are much more interested in playing her now that she has set play options and can actually handle herself very well. Although 236 BC still sucks. Blake. Prediction, slight increase, reality unchanged. I don't get this one. I'm honestly just going to hand this one up to the fact that she's much more technical as a character, and her combos are very tight in terms of her execution. On top of this, Blake Seth isn't a competent team. At least if you want to, be able to take more than 2 combos per character. Yang. Prediction, moderate increase, reality, slight to moderate increase. To whomever thought JC needed to be special cancelable, I've got one thing to say to you.
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
And to all the people who are gonna scream that she needs it,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop you fucking lying.
Yeah, she's become a much bigger pain to deal with. She's definitely an Unga character right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So now let's switch gears and talk about the DLC characters. So first up, Naoto. Now out of the 4, I expected Naoto to be the least played. Instead, he's the second to third most played. He hits hard, which is what he needs, but keeping him out, which is where he struggles just like his CF counterpart, isn't going away anytime soon. It's not that I expect him to break the game, but honestly, he just doesn't have what he needs to break the top 10. In the vein that most of what Naoto gets, he gets from being on top of you. In a game with push block, he really relies on his assist to help him get in and stay in. Adding to this, his resonance game isn't super strong, but if he touches you, you may end up dying. Teddy. Man, talk about being your own hype man, only to turn out to be such a disappointment. When everyone saw how Teddy played, we thought he was going to be a degenerate character because of his 5B. Boy, were we wrong. Arguably the least played out of the 4 characters, Teddy just doesn't have anything going for him. He's meter hungry, setup reliant, and bug bite type damage. There's nothing amazing about him. And you know what? Somehow I'm not upset by this. Seth. Okay, I expected Seth to be the 3rd most played character out of the DLC characters, but as I just alluded to, him and Naoto, they kind of bounce back and forth between 2nd and 3rd. But Seth has a great design and his moves work really well in the game. Being able to fuzzy and set up unblockables, the character is definitely worth playing. The thing I say though is that there are 3 things holding Seth back.
3 of them things?
The first being that his damage fluctuates heavily depending on the starter and setup and positioning. Yes, I know this can be said for any character, but Seth's damage can be anywhere from Batista damage to Akihiko damage. Which means he's kind of a wild card in terms of how he hits. The second thing holding him down is the 14k health pool. Seth isn't tanking more than 2 combos before he dies, even less if one of those is a DP punish. Given that most of the most common characters in the game hit very hard, Seth can't tank too many hits before he dies. The last thing holding him back is that his assists are really mediocre. 6P being able to be hit with literally any button before it starts moving and boom, it's gone. 5P being basically Ruby's 5P can help create sandwiches, but that's about all it's good for. And his 4th P is just pretty underwhelming, it's just serviceable at that. Seth is either really good or really bad, but that's just how it seems to me. There's no in between for him. Lastly, Hart, the most played character out of the 4 DLC characters. Hart has all the makings of a great character. She can be either dirty or very honest. Her dash mechanic makes it to where she really stands out on her own and has really good setups. She has also really great assists as well. 6P being a Batista laser full screen, 5P being standard, and 4P being kinda serviceable. Hart's problem honestly is that unlike Ruby, she has T-Rex arms in terms of her reach. So she really needs to be on top of you to be a threat in any capacity. Even then, her frame data doesn't lend itself to being too degenerate. The way I see Hart is that she's a momentum character. If she gets started and you don't stop her, she'll kill you fairly fast because she does have the damage to do so. And that's the last of them. So how often do you guys see these characters being played, or don't see them being played? Is there a character that you feel is being slept on? Let's talk in the comments below.